I heard that my great-grandfather was a tough and courageous man, and he was good at telling stories too. But in the year I was born, he ended his life with a bottle of pesticide. Old and sick, he must have felt worthless and hopeless, but he didn't speak up, leaving no words behind. How I wish that I could listen to his stories. But everything has gone with the wind. Perhaps one day, AI technology could bridge the gap between us, connecting me to his story. Today we talk a lot about AI technology, and it's powerful. But I'm going to share with you something even more, a more powerful AI. But it's not artificial intelligence. It's authentic influence. I'm going to share with you my journey of finding my voice. In our hometown, being courageous and tough was key to survival. And now in our family, vulnerabilities were barely revealed. My father only showed his when he was completely drunk. Growing up in such a family, I learned how to hide my voice and pretend to be perfect. Because if I speak up, I may be criticized for not trying hard enough. So gradually, I forgot how to speak up, or even forgot who I really was. 6 years ago, I landed downtown with a nice salary and even receiving a promotion before starting. That's the first time in my life that I realized I could influence others to give me a good offer. But challenges soon emerged. Due to inadequate training, my new colleagues and I were suffered. But nobody dared to speak up. We just endured. As a follower, I never thought of speaking up, but getting the job boosted my confidence. So one afternoon, in a big meeting, during the last minute of Q&A, I stood up and spoke up. In front of a big audience, I shared my observations and concerns authentically for the first time of my life. After the meeting, my peers approached me sincerely and thanked me for speaking their words. But the next day, my career plunged into darkness. My manager, furious about the exposed issues, started to verbally abuse me. I tried to defend, but the bullying even worsened. So I shut up and endured. However, 2 months later, I was forced to resign. My first attempt at authentic expression ended in disaster. I felt shameful and confused. Later, I realized that I need to find a safe place to speak up. My husband mentioned a non-profit public speaking club, so I quickly joined that. There, I found a new world. It's the world where people would listen to me. I shared my complaints of the bullying manager. I shared my frustrations. I wanted to pull out everything I could think of. And I never realized that I could be so passionate about one thing in my life. I just couldn't stop making public speeches. And I felt safe there. But one morning, during a routine health checkup, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. That evening, everything felt so surreal. My toddler daughter seemed distant as my spirit wandered, unwilling to face reality. During the darkness, I couldn't help but wonder, what's the meaning of my life? Looking back, It was as if I were living inside a shell, protecting myself by hiding myself inside. Maybe I could hide from the shame of being fired, but I couldn't hide from the fear of getting cancer, of dying. The series of failures were like heavy blows that cracked my shell. It scattered into pieces. Then light shone on me. I saw different versions of me from the pieces. I saw the expectations from my parents, from other people. I saw my struggle, my shame, my pain, my vulnerabilities. But I also saw my courage, my strength, my power when I speak authentically to influence others. So what's the meaning of my life? Forget about others' expectations. Forget about the shame and rejections. If I could live, I don't need anyone's approval. Yes, I am vulnerable, but I am also worthy. Fortunately, the surgery went well and I'm still alive. Losing the job used to be a shame to me, but looking back, it's the right thing to do to speak up for the vulnerable group, including myself. Being diagnosed with cancer used to be a blow to me, but looking back, it's just a period to stop and reflect on my life. A month after the surgery, with sore throat and hoarse voice, I attended a public speech training camp and participated in a speech contest. I feel very nervous, but I couldn't wait to share my story and my findings. In front of 200 strangers, I stepped onto the stage and embraced it for the first time. I shared my failures, my shame of losing job, my pain of getting cancer, and my courage to accept who I am. Nothing could stop me. When the results were announced, I was the champion. People loved my speech and my story. By accepting my vulnerabilities, I accept who I am. By speaking up, I found my authentic influence. Through public speaking, I realized that speaking up is not only about being heard, but also about making deep connections with others. Looking back, I realized that's why the manager bullied me, because he couldn't understand my perspectives. He felt out of control, so she used her most familiar way to regain control. I used to hate her, but now I understand her. We were just ordinary and vulnerable people who can hardly understand each other's perspectives. We were just disconnected. Being authentic is being aware of our perspectives, our vulnerabilities, so that we could understand others to connect with the world. By speaking with authentic influence, my comfort zone expanded from the public speaking clubs to my workplace and to my family. At work, I no longer hide. I talk to my PUA loving boss. Yes, that's another one. And shared my frustration and expectations constructively and gained respect ever since. Back at home, I could see the needs under my parents' criticisms. Instead of reacting, I responded with empathy and understanding. As Winston Churchill said, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. By speaking up authentically, I made my life prosper. In the past 4 years, I made hundreds of speeches to inspire others. I also supported many people, from fresh graduates to CEOs, to improve their public speaking skills and speak with authentic influence. Life is simple. Yes, we complicate it. We always want more. We want to be better, faster, richer. And the world is filled with successful stories. Yes, they often lack authenticity. They could excite our mind, but could hardly resonate with our heart. We want to be success, and it's a good thing, but if we disconnect it with our authenticity, we may forget who we are. We're just human beings. Yes, we are strong, but we are also vulnerable. So how to connect with your authenticity? You don't have to experience all these ups and downs. Self-reflection could guide you there. Today, I would like to share with you the 4F approach for you to have self-reflection effectively. Facts, feelings, findings, and future. Facts means to see what happened without judgment. Feelings means to acknowledge your emotions. Findings means to dig out your assumptions, your paradigm, and to try to understand why you react. And future means that you use the inspiration to build a better yourself. 4F approach could help us to have better self-reflection and to give us courage to accept us wholeheartedly. The word courage, which originates from Latin word cur, actually means heart. The original definition is to tell a story of you wholeheartedly. So the true courage is the courage to accept who we are. Being authentic means to accept our vulnerabilities so that we can understand other people's perspectives. With that, we could make deeper connections. How I wish that I could connect with my great-grandfather and tell him that he's worthy to be vulnerable, he's worthy to speak up. But everything has gone with the wind. But everyone here today still has a chance to embrace your vulnerability, to speak with authentic influence, and to make deeper connections. Everyone has a voice worth sharing. I have found my voice with authentic influence. My AI. And it's powerful. How about you? Have you found yours? Thank you.